Hello, everybody. Welcome to Minnesota Sports HQ. I'm Ben, and today on February 22nd, we had a pretty packed day. We had the Minnesota Wild play, we had the Twins play the first game of the year against the Minnesota Golden Gophers. Kind of a funny game. And I'm also going to talk about the Golden Gopher game that happened yesterday on the 21st, just because I didn't do a video. Sorry about that, but look out for some good stuff this weekend. Now, let's get straight into it. I'm going to start off with the Minnesota Wild versus the New Jersey Devils. And this was an interesting game. The Devils are normally our bogey team from the East. We normally can't beat them. I don't remember the last time we beat them. And that's how it looked from the start. Taylor Hall scored halfway through the first period to make it 1-0. It was a power play goal. They're the only power play goal of the night. And then I believe that's a point in 19 games straight for Taylor Hall now, which is very impressive. Props to him for that. And then Stefan Noesen scored in the second period, 4 minutes in. And then at this point, I was a little worried, so I mainly went back to the Twins game. But Mike Riley did score 7 minutes into the second period to make it 2-1 to New Jersey. And then Joel Eriksson Ek scored 12 and a half minutes into the second period to tie the game 2-2. And then Chris Stewart scored about 30 seconds later with 13 minutes into the period to take the lead for the Wild. And at this point, I was like, wow, what is going on? But, I mean, the Devils had, I believe it was their goalie's first debut game for the Devils. Eddie Lack, I think his name is. And then, the Wild finished the game off with a minute left in the game. They scored an empty netter. Eric Stahl got that one. 27 goals on the year for Stahl, which is very good. I'm very impressed with that. So, final score 4-2 for the Wild. The Wild were thoroughly dominated on shots. The Devils had 40 shots to the Wild's 25. New Jersey went 1 for 3 on the power play. The Wild went 0 for 2. I mean, as far as the game, it was like the Devils would come and get 2 good chances, but Stalock would stop them both, and then we'd go down and we'd just score, just randomly. And then they'd get 2 more shots, then 2 more shots, and 2 more shots. But, that's how games work sometimes. The team with the most shots does not always win, which is definitely good. So Stalock gets the win. He had a 95% save percentage, and Eddie Lax was below 90%, allowing 3 goals and 24 shots. Now, a look at how this affects the standings. It was actually pretty nice. We get a little boost from this game. We now move in, actually, to the third spot in the division. So we moved up a little bit here, which is absolutely great. We have 73 points from 60 games. As far as like the wild card race, Dallas is 1 point behind us with the same amount of games played, and St. Louis is 1 point behind us, but we have a game in hand on them. And then the Los Angeles Kings are 2 points behind us with the same amount of games played. Wow, that is ridiculous. And Calgary is also 2 points behind us, but we have 2 games in hand on them. So thankfully, it's going pretty good. Dallas could take over our spot if they win tonight. They're playing the Kings right now, actually. So one of those teams is going to lose points, so that's a good sign. If Dallas wins, they'll take over our spot in the division, though. And, not much more you can ask for. Like I said, third in the division. I don't think we'll be able to catch... I don't think we'll be able to catch Nashville. I think they're too far in front of us. 10 points ahead right now. But we have a chance to catch Winnipeg, I think. We're 6 points behind them, which isn't bad. Um, I mean, we definitely have room for improvement considering how bad we were at the start to now being in third. I will take that 100%. I kind of want to be in the second wild card spot though, because then we get to play Vegas in the playoffs, and we haven't lost to Vegas yet, so that would be interesting. I mean, right now we're playing Winnipeg in the playoffs or Nashville, which is awful. Like that is bad. I don't want to play either of those teams in the playoffs. That's for sure. I would like to play Vegas just for kind of it would be cool. But now, um, so the Wild improving massively as the season goes along. Now let's move on to the first Twins game of the year. First game of the preseason, we played the University of Minnesota Gophers, and I watched this game just because it's the first game of the year. You know, I mean, you got to support the boys, and but the Twins really didn't play many players who are actually going to touch the field this season. The only one I can see even getting a look at the field is Zach Granite. If Byron Buxton gets hurt, he was the leadoff hitter today. He batted 3 times, and it looks like he got a walk. Maybe not though. He was just left on base once, so who knows what that means. But Minnesota scored a run in the first, and then the Gophers fought back with one in the third. The Gophers got out of several jams. It was actually crazy. Like the Twins had like bases loaded twice on them with 2 outs and didn't get any runs from either of them. One of those was in the bottom of the 8th inning, and we didn't get any runs from that. But then the Twins scored in the bottom of the ninth to win 2-1. So first preseason game, not bad. I'll take it. Both teams had 5 hits. I mean, it's just crazy. I mean, the University of Minnesota was putting freshman pitchers in there going up against the Twins. I mean, granted, it's like the Double-A team, kind of, but that's still pretty good. I mean, it could have been a lot worse. So the Gophers lose to the Twins, and the Twins win the first game of the year, which is always nice to see. Now, one thing I wanted to talk about was the Minnesota Golden Gophers versus Iowa basketball game from last night, just because I didn't make a video. I just kind of wanted to talk about it. Um, Minnesota finally wins a game. They won 86-82 after having a huge lead at halftime. I don't want to talk about it, but Nate Mason had 33 points. McBrayer had 16. Jordan Murphy and Devontae Fitzgerald had 10. For Iowa, Isaiah Moss had 32 points, Luke Garza had 16, and Ryan Kreiner had 15 points. We shot 36% from three, which is really good. I mean, that's better than we normally do. We only shot 44% from the field, though, so I'm very surprised we won. But, a decent win for the Gophers, considering we're missing our best 3 players. Amir Coffey's out with a surgery. Reggie Lynch got expelled. I mean, he was a senior, but he got expelled. And then we're missing Eric Curry from the beginning of the year. He got a torn ACL. Now, Minnesota was up by 12 at halftime, and they were up 31-19. And Iowa scored more than 60 points in the second half, which is absolutely ridiculous. But Minnesota had 55, so we were able to hang on. We lost a pretty big lead, though, which was kind of disappointing. But, it happens. I mean, mainly to Minnesota teams, but it happens. And a look at how that affects the standings. Well, Minnesota moves to 4-13 in conference play, 15-15 overall. If we can win a few more games, we might have a shot at the NIT. But I mean, it's just not great, is it? I mean, we were looking like we could do some damage in the tournament at the beginning of the year. We were ranked like 13, I think, was our highest, and then we lost. Then we lost Amir Coffey, and then we lost Reggie Lynch, and we've had Eric Curry out the whole season. So it's kind of unfortunate, isn't it? But decent day in Minnesota sports. All wins, which is nice to see. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe down below, and we'll talk to you guys later.